everyone, and welcome to Journey with the Kellers. My name is Amanda Keller, and today we are back in the Keller kitchen. So today we are going to be working from the Baking Yesteryear cookbook. Today's recipe is a Sandtorte. Sounds delicious, you guys. Okay, so there are a couple things that you're going to want to do before you start the recipe. First of all, you are going to need 1 cup of butter softened. So you can either take it out and let it sit at room temperature before you make it, or you could microwave it in the microwave for a couple of seconds to just soften it up enough. Okay. The other thing that you're going to need is 6 eggs. You're going to need to separate the yolks from the whites into 2 different bowls. And then if you want to do it ahead of time, you can go ahead and beat your eggs in a stand mixer or with an electric mixer on high or whatever until they get to stiff peaks, which is what I have here. You can also do this when it's time to do it in the recipe, but I am going to be using the stand mixer for the recipe, so that would mean I'd have to take the batter out of this bowl, then clean it, then put the eggs in, and I just did the eggs first and then clean the bowl so that I can reuse it. Okay. All right, so the other thing that you are going to need to do is to grease a 9-inch springform pan. The springform pan is kind that you would usually use with like a cheesecake and stuff. Basically has a release over here that you can release to get the cake out, okay? I just greased mine with shortening. You guys can use shortening or butter or whatever you usually use to grease your pans, okay? All right, then you're gonna go ahead and preheat your oven to 350 degrees, which I've already done. Okay, so first things first, you're gonna take your softened butter, your 1 cup of softened butter. You can use a stand mixer or a hand mixer, an electric hand mixer. Probably do it by hand too, but you know, it's a lot longer by hand than it does with this stuff, so that is completely up to you. I do know at one time I did not have a stand mixer or an electric mixer, and I did have to do a lot of this stuff by hand. Whew, it's a lot of work. It's almost like working in a job where you work with your hands a lot. Whew. Okay, so we're gonna put that in there. And you're also going to add to this 1 cup of granulated sugar, okay? I don't know why I said granulated sugar. Just 1 cup of sugar. Although there is different forms of sugar. Okay. There we go. All right, and you're going to turn that on and you're going to mix it until you get it light and fluffy. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Get it mixing up, and then I will be back as soon as it's ready. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, you guys. So now we've gotten that all nice and light and fluffy. I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the edges of the bowl. And as you can see, it's a nice and fluffy kind of looking batter there. Okay. So I'm going to scrape down the edges of the bowl. I also forgot to tell you at the beginning, the other thing that you do need is the zest of 1 lemon. So you need to zest a lemon and have it ready as well. All right, so let's make sure everything is mixed in. Looks good. Okay. Once you've got your bowl nice and scraped down, you're going to add some more ingredients to this. Okay. So the next thing that you are going to add is your egg yolks. I'm going to go ahead and put this on just a low thing. It says to add your egg yolks basically kind of 1 at a time. But since you're separating them out first, you'll just have to kind of add them slowly. And then make sure that it blends up really well between each one. So I'll try to get as best as I can as 1 at a time, but not sure that it might get more than 1 at a time. We'll go ahead and keep that, mix it, get that all nice and mixed in there before we add the next one. Okay. Two. And I think one of them smashed and liquefied, so that one's just going to be going in as it goes in. Three. Four. And then number 5, technically 5 and 6, because like I said, that one's been adding in the whole time. So let's get the rest of that in there. So once you've got all that added in, then you're gonna go ahead and add your lemon zest from your 1 lemon. Okay. All right. A bit more in there. There we go. All right, and then you're also gonna add in some, it's what's it called, dark rum, black or gold rum, and you need 3 tablespoons of that. I buy these little tiny bottles, works much better, because I don't keep any of that stuff in the house, so whenever I need it for a recipe, I just buy little tiny bottles if I can find them. There's 2, it's 3, right? Yep. And 3. Okay, so we got that in there. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and add in the cornstarch. We need 1 cup of cornstarch. And when you add this in, you're gonna beat it basically in there. And I'm gonna turn this up a little bit to kind of get that all mixed in real good. Cornstarch though goes everywhere, guys. Okay, so they may want me to do it while I'm beating it, but I'm going to turn it down because it's going to make a mess if I do that. But look at all that smoke just coming out. All right, now we can turn it up though. And we'll turn it up a little faster. There we go. Okay. Whew. Feel like I've been tarred and feathered. Okay, so now that we've got the cornstarch in, you're gonna make sure that the mixture gets nice and smooth. And I did just realize, because I wasn't paying attention when I just did that, you were actually supposed to add that cornstarch 1 tablespoon at a time. But you know, it got in there, so that's okay. So if you're doing this, then yeah, do, is it 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons? 2 tablespoons. So you're supposed to add a cup of cornstarch 2 tablespoons at a time while it's on like a beating mode. So you're supposed to be beating the batter while you're doing it. So, all right. So we got that done. All right. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to gradually beat in the flour. And you need just 1 cup of flour. Same thing, flour usually goes everywhere. We will definitely do it gradually or we'll have a big flour storm cloud. You see, we're getting little ones. Down just a little bit. Okay, got that in. Oh, I think that went up my nose. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a scrape here as well. Oop, it's flying out. Okay. So after you've got your flour added, let's see, you're going to put in your baking powder, which you are going to need 2 teaspoons. Oh my. Oh, that cornstarch goes everywhere, you guys. Okay, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So here's 1. And here's 2. Okay. And then also 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Okay, 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go ahead and turn that up again, give it a good beat in there. so you're supposed to let this beat for about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that do that, and then I will be back. Also, the next thing that we are going to be adding is your egg whites. So this would be a time to go ahead while this is beating, if you have a electric hand mixer, to go ahead and beat your egg whites until they're stiff if you're wanting to do it during the recipe. Or you can wait until this is done, clean the bowl out, and do it that way. But if you have an electric hand mixer as well, you can just put your egg whites in a bowl and beat them until they're stiff with the electric hand mixer while this is mixing for its 5 minutes, okay? So I will be back, and we will add in our egg whites, and then we'll go from there. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, you guys, so once you have gotten that nice and beaten up, you get a nice looking mixture that kind of looks like this. It's a little bit stiff looking, but it's a nice pale yellow color. Sorry for all the noise coming from the washing machine once again. Okay, so what you're gonna do is go ahead and you can just take this off of the machine, clean your paddle off, you know, and then take the bowl off. Where did I put my, oh, there it is, okay. Lost my spatula for a minute. Okay, so then you're gonna take your egg whites that you've beaten to nice stiff peaks, and you're gonna put this in there, and you're gonna fold it in by hand, okay? So I usually, and this is a good time to scrape down your bowl too. So I usually just kind of go down the sides and then come up through the middle and kind of push it down in there. So something like this. Now it will take a while for the egg whites to get mixed in because they are so fluffy, but you do want to be gentle, excuse me, because you don't want to deflate the batter. So the whole point of mixing in stiffened egg whites, it makes the batter really, really light and fluffy, okay? Which makes for a nice light and fluffy cake. All right. So you just keep mixing. Probably about halfway there now. And if you can't tell, this batter now is starting to get pretty, it's not as stiff anymore. It's starting to get pretty soft. Can smell the lemon. I wonder if this will taste a little lemony. That would be cool. Okay, you guys, so I think I got it all mixed in there. And now the batter definitely looks light and fluffy and very, you know, jiggly and soft and smooth, kind of like a regular cake batter, okay? All right, so now once you've gotten that all mixed up, you're gonna pour this into your greased 9-inch springform pan, okay? Some just got on the counter. Scrape this out real good, get it all in there. Okay, so now you're just gonna bake this for 45 to 50 minutes, okay? You can insert a toothpick into it to see if it's done once you get to that. Then once it is done, you're gonna remove it and leave it out in the pan for about 10 minutes, and then you're gonna transfer it to a wire rack. So after the 10 minutes is up, you can go ahead and spring your spring. I always leave it on the bottom. I don't take it off of the bottom. I don't think there's any reason to. But you can take your spring and take your sides off and then just set it on a wire rack to cool the rest of the way. Now, just to let you know, for decoration for this, you are supposed to use a doily. So I'm not somebody who has a doily, but luckily my mom does. So I'm going to use one of hers. If you don't have a doily or have a mom or a grandma or somebody that you can borrow one from, you could probably kind of make one a little bit. Kind of like making a snowflake out of a piece of paper. You could probably do that and then just set it over the top and we'll do that. But I'll show you that after it's done and we come back to look at it and see how it turns out. So I'll be back as soon as this is done cooking and cooled off enough that we can do our decoration. And I think we do have to cool it all the way says it'll take about an hour to completely cool. So basically about 2 hours with the cooking and the cooling, okay? All right, you guys, so I'll be back once this is cooled off and we will do the decoration on the top. See you in a little bit. You guys, so our cake is nice and finished. It looks really good, doesn't it? Okay, so now you're gonna take a doily, a little lacy doily, and you're gonna put that on top. It has a cute little flower in the middle of it. We're gonna try to get that to go on there. Okay, you're gonna take some powdered sugar, and you're just gonna sprinkle it over the doily, okay? Dog's barking. All right, let's see here. Definitely gonna have to wash the doily after you're done. Well, I don't know if it exactly works, but we'll see. All right, and then it says to just lift the doily off slowly and carefully. Which I think is also going to make a mess, but that's okay. Oh, it's not too bad. I just made a mess, but that's right. But I don't know, I kind of made the flower pattern in the middle. It looks okay. Let you guys see a little closer. Looks pretty cute. Okay, you guys, so it is all done. So now the last thing is just to try it. I just want to get a little piece of it. Let's see here. Just take a little piece off right there. Let's try this. It does remind me a lot of a sponge cake. Okay. Well, that's actually really good, you guys. I get a little hint of the lemon that was in it. But yeah, it's really good. Okay, you guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. Like and subscribe if you like, or don't if you don't. Everyone have a good day. Enjoy your cooking. Keep your kitchen messy, and we'll see you later. Bye.